अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। Sorry for being late, couple of minutes. Morning time it is so, everything happens so fast. Uh, so today we will be starting, we'll be finishing in fact Balbodh 2. Last two chapters are there. So today we are going to study about Lord Mahavir, the 24th Tirthankar, and last week we completed this chapter on 6 substances. So page number 30, I'll make you co-host. Lina ji, I'm making you co-host, right? Yes. Now you can share the PDF of Balbodh part 2, and then we will be completing this part 2 and moving to part 3. Today we'll start part 3 also. So very simple story on Bhagwan Mahavir, but very inspiring. So the main part is that he was having 5 names, Veer, Ativir, Sanmati, Vardhaman, and Mahavir. Now, each of these names has some significance of because of which this name has been given to Mahavir Swami. So we will see the reasons behind each, and we will have a more detailed study in Tattva Gyan when we come to Tattva Gyan part 2. There also we'll study about Bhagwan Mahavir in detail. But this is a simple Balbodh level introduction. Yeah. So, Jia, you read this whole chapter at once.
Okay. Bhagwan Mahavir, teacher, boys, tomorrow we shall celebrate the holy birthday of Lord Mahavir. In the morning, we shall arrange a rally. You have therefore to come to the school at 5 a.m. Then there will be a public meeting in the Mahavir circle in which scholars from outside will speak on the life of Mahavir. You should all be present in the meeting. First student, sir, we do not understand the learned discourses of big scholars. Please tell us who Mahavir was and where he was born. Teacher, boys, God is not born, he attains godhood. Child Vardhaman was born 2580 years back on the 13th day of the second half of the Indian month Chaitra. Later on, this same child, by his unique supreme efforts, became God Mahavir. Second student, this means any one of us, by dint of his own efforts, can attain godhood. Was Vardhaman just like us at birth? Teacher, of course, and yet he was a genius, conversant with the knowledge of the self, prudent, healthy, and judicious. He possessed immeasurable courage. He was never afraid of any being whatsoever. Therefore, his playmates began to call him Veer and Ativeer. A second student. He is also called Sanmati. Teacher, he had himself attained complete and perfect knowledge, and so he was called Sanmati. He conquered the powerful evils of attachment and aversion, and was as such called Mahavir. He was given 5 names in his life: Veer, Ativir, Sanmati, Vardhaman, and Mahavir. First student. Did the subjects of the kingdom of his father celebrate his date of birth with great enthusiasm, pomp, and show? Teacher, yes, he was a Kshatriya prince of the Nath clan. His father was King Siddhartha and mother Trishula Devi. Not only did they not only they but all the subjects of the kingdom, heavenly gods and their lords Indras also celebrated the occasion with joy. Why is his birthday alone and not of others so celebrated? Teacher, this was his last birth. After this, he destroyed the circle of life and death. Devoid of all worldly attachments, he became omniscient. It is not happy to be born, but that birth alone is meaningful, wherein one becomes a god after destroying the eternal circle of life and death. First student, so we are today celebrating the birthday of the one who destroyed the circle of life and death. Second student, sir, you told us the name of his father and mother, but not those of his wife and children. Teacher, he never married, and therefore the question of wife and children does not arise. His parents tried their level best to persuade him to marry, but they failed utterly in their attempts. Third student, did he then become a monk? Teacher, of course. Nobody can become a god without initiation into monkhood. Mahavir renounced his world when he was only 30 years of age, in the full bloom of youth, and performed formidable penances. After the continuous quest for the soul for 12 long years, he attained omniscience. Student, it thus means that he attained omniscience at the age of 42. Teacher, yes. Thereafter, he traversed the whole of the country for 30 years and delivered religious sermons. In the end, at the age of 72, he attained supreme bliss, Nirvan, at Pavapur on a day which, up to this time, is celebrated as Deepavali, the festival of illumination. Student, where is Pavapur? Teacher, Pavapur is near Navada railway station in the state of Bihar. Third student, is Deepavali then celebrated in honor of his self realization? Teacher, oh yes, call it Deepavali or the festival of attainment of supreme bliss. The same day, his chief disciple Indrabhuti Gautam attained omniscience. He is known as Gautam, the chief preceptor. For student, what doctrines did he preach for 30 years? Teacher, you will know this in the meeting of the learned speakers in the evening. At present, I should tell you about some of his teachings in brief. First, all souls are equal, none big or small. Second, God is not some different entity. By dint of one supreme effort, anybody can attain godhood. Third, God does not create or destroy things in the universe, He only knows them. Fourth, the nature of our souls is knowing, not indulging in passions. Fifth, never hurt the feelings of others. Sixth, telling lies and intentions of telling lies are sins. Seventh, theft and intention thereof are evils. Eighth, lead a life of abstinence, never indulge in anger, and never have pride of any sort. 9. Deceit and perverseness of feelings should not be indulged in. 10. A greedy person is always unhappy. 11. We are unhappy on account of our own faults and can be happy by removing them.
Good. So, what was inspiring? What you like the most about Bhagwan Mahavir? Jia?
I really like his teachings. All of them are really interesting.
Yes.
And his life story is also very interesting. He decided not to marry, and yeah, all of that was very interesting.
Good. So, Madam May, what did you like the most about this story of Mahavir Swami?
Yes, I like the first one, the first point that all beings are equal, big or small.
Yes, yes. So, beginning with the first point that strike to my mind is that boys, God is not born. Okay. So God is not born, but by dint of his efforts, a person can become a God. Similarly, we can also become God. That has been very clearly established here. Each and every individual, each and every soul can become a god, provided he follows the right path. Okay. So, all our efforts will pay off because we can also become God. And once we become a God, we stop this cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Okay. So that was very inspiring. And then the next part is the 5 names, his first name was Vardhaman, when he was born, he was called Vardhaman by his parents. So that name came up because uh, his progress in all fields was very encouraging, So in Hindi we call it Vriddhi karte hain, badna. So from Vriddhi it was Vardhaman. Then the next name Veer. So Veer is again a name given to Mahavir Swami because when he was a child, he was playing with his friends and suddenly a poisonous snake came up. So every other uh, child, they were very fearful and they ran away. But Veer was standing there still and facing the snake. And then seeing the braveness of Mahavir, that snake went away. So that's why he was called Veer. Then Ativir. Ativir, the story goes like this, that once elephant got mad and he was plundering here and there trees and homes, and people were running helter skelter, and Mahavir Swami as a child was there, and he never feared and he faced the elephant single-handedly and brought him under his control. So that's why the people gave him the name of Ativir. Then the fourth one in the sequence is Sanmati. Okay. Why he was called Sanmati? Because he was a doubt solver. Once two monks, they came to him and they were having a doubt in their mind. But the moment they came near Mahavir Swami and saw him, their doubts got cleared. So he was very intelligent, and because of that, he was called Sanmati. And the last, of course, Mahavir, because he conquered the powerful evils of attachment and aversions. So these 5 names are very popular, and he is the only Tirthankar who is having these 5 names. Most of the Tirthankars have 1 name only. Some of them have 2 names only. But Mahavir Swami had got 5 names. His father's name was Siddharth. He was a King Siddharth, and his mother Trishla Devi. So when he was born, the heavenly gods and Indra's, heavenly beings, they came to celebrate his birth, So a Tirthankar has 5 Kalyanaks. Kalyanaks are special events, 5 special events. Garbha Kalyanak, then Janma Kalyanak, then we have Diksha Kalyanak, then we have Keval Gyan Kalyanak, and then we have Moksha Kalyanak. So these are very particular to a Tirthankar only. Why? Because this is his last birth. He is not going to be born again. He is going to get liberated in this birth. So, these 5 special festivals or special events are organized and celebrated in the life of a Tirthankar. He never got married, and so he never had children. And his parents tried to persuade him to get married, but he was very firm in his decision. And he realized that this birth is worth getting liberated. So he was fully concentrated on that. And so he refused to get married. And at the age of 30, he got initiated into monkhood. And for the next 12 years, he was just doing meditation only. And he achieved omniscience knowledge. Okay. Keval Gyan. So at the age of 42, he attended Keval Gyan. And for the next 30 years, he went to different places in the whole of India and spread the religions of liberation, So at the age of 72, uh, he got liberated on that day, and we are celebrating this day as Deepavali. Okay. And he got liberated from Pawapur. Pawapur is a place near Nawada railway station in the state of Bihar. I think now it is Jharkhand. So this festival of Deepavali is celebrated just because Mahavir Swami got liberated on that day, and on the same day, this chief disciple, Indrabhuti Gautam, attained omniscience knowledge. Now coming to the learnings, what were the main points of teaching given by in his sermon, So first one is all souls are equal, none big or small. So even a small ant or a big animal like elephant, all souls are equal. Nobody is big or small. The body may be big or small, but the souls are all equal. Second is God is not some different entity. By dint of one's supreme effort, anybody can attain Godhood. So this inspires us to come out of our comfort zone, and get into the growth zone and tread on the path as shown by Mahavir Swami, and one day we also will become God. God does not create or destroy things in his universe, he only knows them. So Jainism only offers this concept of God being only an observer and not a creator or destroyer of this universe. Everywhere there is a concept or principle of God being the, maker or the manager or the destroyer of this universe. Fourth point, the nature of our soul is knowing, not indulging in passions. So basically our nature of soul is just to know. But what mistake we make? We don't just keep knowing, we also indulge in it, indulge in passions. So passions do arise, but we should be an observer to that passions. But the mistake that we make is we indulge in those passions. We do oneness, mindness, become a doer, and again become a enjoyer of that thing. So because of that, we are wandering into this mundane existence. From one species to another species, we are transmigrating from time immortal. Number 5, never hurt the feelings of others. So this is also a very good principle. So we should not take care of only ourselves. We should also see that through our words or through our deeds, we don't hurt anybody's feelings. Number 6, telling lies and intentions of telling lies are sins. So in Bhagwan Mahavir's preachings, the nature of 5 sins was very well explained, and telling lies is one of the sins. So the first one was hurting the feelings of others, that is violence. Then this lies, so hinsa, jhoot, chori. Third one is theft. We had read about this 5 sins. So first one is violence. The second one is about the lies. The third one is theft. Then the fourth one, lead a life of abstinence. Never indulge in anger and never have pride of any sort. So this is about giving up the passions. Ninth point, deceit and perverseness of feelings should not be indulged in. So anger, krodh, then my anger, krodh, man is pride, then maya is deceit, and lobh is greed. So these are the 4 major passions that we studied, and we should get rid of this. 10th, a greedy person. So now we have all the 4 here. We had anger, we had pride, then we had deceit, and then the greedy person is always unhappy. So if you manifest passions, you are not going to be happy. You are going to suffer. You are going to experience pain, grief, sorrow. All these are the feelings. Then the last one, we are happy on account of our own faults and we are unhappy on account of our own faults and can be happy by removing them. So we have this delusion called the wrong belief, and because of wrong belief, we are unhappy. So by removing this wrong belief and having a right belief, we can be happy. That is what the preachings of Mahavir Swami is all about. So we'll be again studying about Lord Mahavir in next semester, second semester. But now on a Balbodh, in Balbodh 2, this much is enough. So see, lot of inspirations to take. The best part is that he was just like us one day. And from there he started this journey and he got liberated. And we are also following in his footsteps and we are observing his instructions and walking on the same path. So we are also very confident that we also will get liberated soon. So that should be our ultimate objective in this life. All things will remain here. Whatever you earn, whatever association that you develop here, these are all going to remain here. But if you learn this knowledge, the tricks, the practice of descriptive knowledge, that is going to come with you in the next birth, and within 3-4 births only, you can become God. In fact, we can become God in the next birth itself. So that can be very fast. But for those people who have access to this kind of true God, true Dev and true Shastra, true scriptures, they can only read this and understand it and attain the Godhood. So this was very inspiring. And moving on to the last chapter in Balbodh 2 is a small prayer. And so prayer of the voice of God. Voice of God means Jinvani, the scriptures that has been written in the sequence of the sermons that is being delivered by a Tirthankar, and from there it goes to chief preceptor Gandhar, called Gandhar, and then Gandhar passes this knowledge on to Acharyas, then Acharyas passes this knowledge on to different Acharyas, and then when there was nobody to take up this knowledge, uh, the Acharya had thought of writing it, and that's how the writing of the scriptures started. And still then new uh, acharyas coming up, and they wrote many books, depicting this knowledge of discrimination. So this tradition has been coming to us from the original source, from the Tirthankar. We can also read the scriptures and understand the true nature of our soul, and we can also attain godhood. It is as simple as that. So in this prayer, the importance of the voice of the God, Jinvani, that has been very nicely uh, enumerated here, and we will see. So I'll read the Hindi first and then the English. Okay. मिथ्यात्म नाश वे को, ज्ञान के प्रकाश वे को, आपा पर भास वे को, भानु सी बखानी है. So मिथ्यात्म means delusion, to destroy delusion. So tam is andhera. Andhera means absence of sunlight, the darkness. To destroy this darkness of delusion and to spread the light of knowledge, this sun has come up, to destroy the darkness of delusion and to spread the light of knowledge. Apa par bhasve ko, to fill the difference between the self and non-self. You have been adored as the sun. So with the rise of sun, the darkness automatically goes away. Similarly, if you get the right knowledge, delusion and other passions will automatically go away. Next paragraph. छहो द्रव्य जानवे को, बंद विधि मानवे को, स्वपर पिछानवे को, परम प्रमाणी है. छह द्रव्य जानने को, to know all the six substances. So now you know all the six substances, right? The true nature of each substances, you know. To know all the six substances and the state of bondage of the worldly beings. How a soul gets bondage, the whole process, So to know about this, that is what has been explained here. छहो द्रव्य जानवे को, बंद विधि भानवे को, स्व पर पिछानवे को, param pramani. So the scriptures knowledge, it makes us aware of the nature of all six substances. It also teaches us how the bondage happens, so we don't get indulged in that. Then it also tells us how to know our souls distinct from others. Okay. So our Jinvani or the scriptures, religious scriptures, are regarded as an authority to teach us this kind of teachings. The next two lines. What else does Jinvani helps us? अनुभव बताए को, जीव के जताए को, कहू न सताए को, भव्य उर आनी है. So this Jinvani tells us how to get self-experience, self-realization. So not only to get us self-realization, but at the same time, share it with other people. So everyone experiences their own soul. And once you experience your own soul, the eternal bliss, it manifests in our modification, and then it continues to grow. To protect all other beings, you have descended in the hearts of those capable of attaining supreme bliss. So this Jinvani teaches us to protect all other beings, not to harm any other beings, and so this Jinvani helps us in getting rid of all kinds of sins. What else this Jinvani does? जहां तहां तारवे को पार के उतारवे को सुख विस्तारवे को यही जिनवाणी है. To lead all to their salvation and to remove their worldly shackles, to preach the gospel of happiness. I adore thee, O voice of Lord Jin. So here the poet tries to he's showing us the importance of this true scriptures, that it is because of these true scriptures that people or the souls get salvation, and it also helps in removing the worldly shackles. Next one. हे जिनवाणी भारती तो ही जपो दिन रैन, जो तेरी शरणा गहे सो पावे सुख चैन. So I pray to this holy voice of the Lord day in and day out. And those who take refuge in thee obtain spiritual bliss. So very simple. Everything is written in the scriptures. You take shelter to those scriptures, understand those concepts, and you can obtain spiritual bliss. Now, in the worldly matters, whether you will be successful or not, it all depends on your karmas, auspicious and inauspicious karma. So if you have bound many auspicious karma, you will get success. But if you have bound only unauspicious karmas, then you will fail in whatever you do. But here, if you put in efforts to understand your own soul, it will never go futile. In fact, this is going to fetch happiness for you. So always study the scriptures, understand the scriptures, and make a decision on these concepts, whatever is being taught. The last one. जावाणी के ज्ञान ते सुजे लोकालोक, सोवाणी मस्तक नवो सदा देत हो ढो. With thy grace, we can see the universe and the infinite space outside. I bow to thee, O all-revealing voice of the Lord. Ho Vani Mastak Navo Sada Dethi Do. So I bowed it to this kind of Jinvani, which actually carries the message of a Tirthankar or the Acharyas, So all these is there in the Jinwani, and if we read it properly and understand it properly and arrive at a decision, then our life will also become tense free, anxiety free, stress free, and we will really enjoy our life while simultaneously doing our responsibilities towards our family, towards our community, towards our country, and still doing their spending some time every day for our own self. So this continuity is very important, and that is what by reading scriptures you can get that continuity. Now we'll move on to the next Balbodh 3. Okay, Balbodh 3. So first chapter, this is again a prayer. So this prayer has 4 stanzas, you know. So in the first stanza, causes of griefs are given. In the second stanza, different types of benefits that we get, that is given. The name of the prayer is Dev Darshan, means glimpses of the Lord. So what are the benefits that you are going to get if you see the God or you worship the God? What are the benefits you will get? That is being explained in the second paragraph. Now in the third paragraph, the devotees gets enlightened, and once he gets enlightened, what are his wishes now? What he's looking at? So that is all explained in the third paragraph. And in the fourth paragraph, how to become God, that is being taught, you know. So in a nutshell, in a very small thing, they have given all the important informations. So again, I will read the Hindi part and then the English part. अति पुण्य उदय मम आया, प्रभु तुमरा दर्शन पाया, अब तक तुमको बिन जाने, दुख पाए निज गुण हाने, पाए अनंत दुख अब तक, जगत को निज जान कर, सर्वज्ञ भासित जगत हित कर, धर्म नहीं पहचान कर, भव बंध कारक सुख प्रहारक, विषय में सुख मान कर, निज पर विवेक ज्ञान में, सुख निधि सुधा नहीं पान कर. So what are the causes of grief that has been explained in the first paragraph? It is a great merit to have thy glimpses, O Lord. Without knowing you, O Lord, I have experienced untold grief in life. So that was the first cause, without knowing you. Without knowing you means without knowing the actual nature of the Lord. Second, this was due to the fact that I regarded this whole world as my own. So without knowing you means without knowing the teachings of Lord, you know, and I have experienced untold grief in this life. And this, what would be the cause? The main cause is that I regarded the whole world as my own. So it is not actually my own, but I regarded this whole world as my own. So this is the second mistake. The third mistake, and did not recognize real religion. So when I regarded this whole world as mine own, and simultaneously I did not recognize real religion. How can I manifest this real religion as enunciated by the omniscient? Passions that push us in bondage were regarded as conducive to joy. So those passions, the sensory pleasures, uh, that put us in bondage, and we regarded them as conducive to joy. So that was our mistake. The last one, we did not drink deep of the nectar or perfect knowledge, distinguish self from the others. So because of this, we are suffering from all these kinds of griefs. Now, in the next paragraph, what will be the benefit of praying to God? So there are 6 types of benefits enumerated here, one in each line. The first one, when thy feet are in my heart, delusion and stupidity disappear. तब मम उर तब पद मम उर में आए, लखी कुमति विमोह पलाए, निज ज्ञान कला उर जागी, रुचि पूर्ण स्वहित में लागी। रुचि लगी हित में आत्म के, सत्संग में अब मन लगा, मन में हुई अब भावना, तब भक्ति में जाऊं ऐसा। प्रिय वचन की हो टेव मुनिगण, गान में चिंत धरे चित्त पगे, शुभ शास्त्र का नित हो मनन, मन दोष वादंते भगे। When thy feet are in my heart, delusion and stupidity disappear. Now my soul has awakened, and I have become devoted to the God of the self. The third one, with this devotion, I have realized the importance of the company of the saints. The fourth one, my mind has thus dived deep deep in thy devotion, in your devotion. I should always speak kindly of others and appreciate their merits. The last one, let me study thy tenets, keeping myself away from those who preach wrong faith. So it is very important to identify who is preaching wrong faith and to keep away from that. So all this work is being done by our Jinwani, and many of you must realized that without knowing the God and without knowing this scriptures, we have been suffering from time immortal, and by understanding the nature of God, by understanding the scriptures, what type of benefits we are getting. Now moving on to the third paragraph, the same devotee has now become an enlightened one, and what are his wishes, what are his feelings, now that he will share with us. What does he believe in? What does he contemplate for? What does he wish for? What does he reflect on? All this will be given in this paragraph. The third one. कर समता उर में लाकर द्वादश अनुप्रेक्षा भाकर ममता में भूत भगा कर मुनिव्रत दारू वन जाकर धर कर दिगंबर रूप कब 28 गुण सा पालन करूं दो बिस परी सहजदा तुम शुभ धर्म दश धारण करो तप तपो द्वादश विधि सुखद तप 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 तपो द्वादश विधि सुखद नित बंद आश्रव परिहरु अरुरो नूतन कर्म संचित कर्म रिपु को निर्जरो. Now this devotee, he has this wish of becoming a monk, get initiated into monk. So now he is contemplating or reflecting. When shall I go to the jungles and add up monkhood, having equanimity of the soul and with 12 reflections for spiritual development? So with this contemplation of 12 reflections, we can attain equanimity of the soul. Fourth one. Having thus been a Digambar saint, when shall I observe the 48 fundamentals? Okay. So by initiating into a monkhood, and when a soul gets initiated into monk, he observes these 28 fundamentals. If he don't observe these 28 fundamentals, he does not qualify to become a monk. Then what else he does after becoming a monk? He observes these 28 fundamentals. Then he bears these 22 physical self-imposed inflictions by sparisha. So during the winter, he will go near river to get meditation done, and then he will test himself that how much his concentration is being maintained and how much he gets distracted. So all this he can ascertain how good is her strength. So bearing 22 physical self-imposed inflictions and adopting 10 rules of religion. So all these pertains to a monk. So he would bear these 22 physical self-imposed inflictions and adopting 10 principles of religion. So if you understand 10 rules of religion, then only you can adapt. So before adapting, you should knew the nature of each religion of 10 religious religions. Then the next one, the seventh one, when shall I follow 12 penances, checking all influx of merits and demerits and psychic bondage? So when I follow these 12 penances, automatically the merits and demerits, psychic bondage does not arise. And that is how the soul gets liberated. When shall I stop the influx of new karmic matter, shedding the stock of old ones? So the first part would be the stoppage of influx. And then, of course, shedding of the stock of old ones, that is nirjara or dissociation of karmas. The last one, how to become a god. the whole process of devotee to a god that has been enumerated here. कब धन्य सुअवसर पाऊं, जब निज में ही रम जाऊं, कर्तादिक भेद मिटाऊं, रागादिक दूर भगाऊं, कर दूर रागादिक निरंतर, आत्म को निर्मल करूं, बल ज्ञान दर्शन सुख, अतुल लही चरित शाईक आचरु, आनंद कन जिनेन्द्र बन, उपदेश को नित उच्चरु, आवे अमर कब सुखद दिन, जब दुखद भव सागर तरु. So in the last paragraph, the whole process from becoming a devotee to God has been explained, and also the contemplation of becoming a God is also explained here. So when shall I get the holy moment of merging by being in my soul? So when the moment will come when I will be engrossed in myself, obliterating the feelings of doing and creating and removing all the attachments. Obliterating means eliminate, erase, renew, delete. All these are synonymous. So obliterating the feelings of doing and creating. So feeling of doing and creating creates anxiety, stress in ourselves. But when we don't become a doer, then we become an observer, and that is the time we enjoy eternal bliss. So by removing this feeling of doing and creating, we can remove all kinds of attachment. After removing all attachment of this mundane existence, when shall I purify my soul? So the poet wants to say here that when I practice descriptive knowledge and purify my soul, I can remove all the attachments to this mundane existence. Next, the fourth one. Achieving infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite perception, and infinite perfect bliss. When shall I follow perfect conduct? So after achieving this, he will observe the complete conduct. कर दूर रागादिक निरंतर, आत्म को निर्मल करू, बल ज्ञान दर्शन, बल ज्ञान दर्शन सुख, अतुल लही चरित्र शाईक आचरु. So after removing all the attachments of this mundane existence, I shall purify my soul, achieving infinite power. Infinite word is missing here. Achieving infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite perception, and infinite perfect bliss, we can get into the religion of perfect conduct. The next one. Reciting always the Gospels of the Lord, when shall I attain Godhood myself? When will that happy day arrive when I shall swim across the ocean of this worldly existence and obtain liberation? आनंद कंद जिनेन्द्र बन, उपदेशों को नित उच्चरु, आवे अमर कब सुखद दिन जब दुखत भव सागर तरु. Reciting always the Gospels of the Lord. When shall I attain Godhood myself? When will that happy day arrive when I shall swim across the ocean of this worldly existence? So, in this paragraph, not only the feeling has been shown, but the whole process of becoming God from a devotee is here depicted here. So, very nice small prayer, and this has been written by poet Amar. The last line of the Hindi, if you see, आवे अमर कब पद कब सुखद दिन जब दुखद भवसागर तरु. So Amar is in the apostrophe. That means the name of the poet is Amar. So very ancient poem, nothing is known about it. So nothing is written about it. Now moving on to the next chapter, 5 Supreme Holy Beings. So first is the Namokar mantra. We will all recite together, and then we will see the nature of each of the 5 Parmeshtis or the 5 supreme beings, one by one. So first we recite the Namokar mantra. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Sittanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loe Savvasanam. So this is a hymn of salutation. Herein, first of all, complete detached and omniscient gods, Aryantas and Siddh have been saluted. After that, monks following the path of detachment, having been adored, these include Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and ordinary Digambar saint. So, moving on to the path of this liberation, the Acharyas and the Upadhyayas and the common monks have all been here adored to. These are 5 supreme holy beings, Parmeshthis. Aryant and other are grades of spiritual realization. Those in the grade of the psychic achievements are called the 5 supreme holy beings or the Parmeshthi. So Aryant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyaya and Sadhu, these are the 5 posts, and these souls are called Panch Parmeshthi. Aryant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyaya and Sadhu are supreme post, परम पद है, और जो परम पद में स्थित है, and the one who gets into this supreme post, they are called Parmeshthis. They are 5 in numbers, so these are called Panch Parmeshthis. Now coming on to the first one, the Arhantas. 1 minute. Now we'll read about one at a time. So first, Shefali ji, you read about Arhantas. It's there on the screen.
Yeah. The Arihantas, those who, having left the household and accepting monkhood, destroyed the 4 kinds of karmic matter by engaging themselves in the pursuit of the self, and having attained the highest attributes of omniscience, omnivision, eternal bliss, and supreme strength are called the Arihantas. In religious books, 46 attributes of Arihantas have been enunciated. Some of these relate to their physical form, while others are connected with their soul. 10 of these are associated with their birth and relate to the physique. 10 relate to obtaining omniscience. These are also due to outer merit, and 14 of these are accomplished by the gods. These attributes are peculiar to the Tirthankar Arhantas only, not all the Arhantas. 8 auspicious objects are also external decorations. However, the 4 attributes given above relate to the soul only and are common to all the Arhantas. As such, they are the real attributes of the Arhantas.
Bus, stop. So first we will understand that somebody who is in this post of Arhanta, what are the qualities that he manifests and what are his common features, that all. So first one is the Arhanta. Those who having left the household. So not only he's left the home, but that attachment to that home, that is the main part of this renunciation. So those who having left the household and accepted monkhood. Now accepting monkhood means again manifesting pure modifications, शुद्धोपयोग. So जो गृहस्थपना त्याग कर, okay, grahasthapana, pana means that the feeling of attachment. So those having left the feeling of attachment to the household and accepting monkhood. Accepting monkhood means manifesting pure dispositions or pure sentiments. The next is destroy the 4 kinds of karmic matter, okay, by engaging themselves in the pursuit of the self. Okay. So निज स्वभाव साधन द्वारा 4 घाती कर्मों का क्षय करके. Now what are these घाती karma? These are soul obscuring karmas, So destroying the 4 kinds of karmic matter by engaging themselves in the pursuit of the self and having attained the highest attributes of omniscience, omnivision, eternal bliss, and supreme strength. Okay. So actually it is infinite. Anant Gyan. So infinite knowledge, that is omniscience. Then Anant Darshan, that is infinite perception, or it is called omnivision. The third one is Anant Sukh, eternal bliss or infinite bliss. And the last one is supreme strength, Anant Virya, infinite strength, infinite power, are called the Aryantas. So in all, the Aryantas has 46 special attributes. Out of it, 4 are these internal attributes and the rest 42 are all external. Okay. So what are these 4 internal? This infinite knowledge or omniscience. The second one is omnivision, infinite perception. The third one is infinite eternal bliss. The fourth one is infinite supreme strength. So these are the 4 internal qualities and the rest 42 are external. Out of that 42, it's enumerated here. In religions books, 46 attributes of the Arihant have been enunciated.
Sir, can you please explain omniscience and omnivision?
So omniscience, like now, we do have this attribute of knowledge with us, okay? Each soul has this attribute of knowledge with him. Now, this attribute of knowledge is not being manifested fully. Why? Because there is a karma, knowledge obscuring karma, that is also on the rise, and because of that we are not getting complete knowledge being manifested, okay? But the potential is always there. So when that potential comes into existence, present existence, then it is called complete knowledge. So we have this potential, each soul has this potential, but when it gets manifested, then it is called omniscience. So complete knowledge is omniscience, and complete vision or the complete perception, Ananta Gyan is knowledge, and Ananta Darshan. So Ananta Darshan is infinite perception, or
It
it
means you
is
can see
called,
above and beyond. Omnivision means you can see anything.
yeah, you can see everything, you can know everything. This is omniscience and omnivision. And that is the complete manifestation of this quality of knowledge and perception. So we do have this quality with us right now, but it has not been fully manifesting. Okay, partial. We have got partial knowledge, and our partial knowledge is blocked by the karmas. Similarly, we have partial perception right now, and partial is blocked. So when all the blockages goes away, we get rid of all the karmas, these qualities will manifest in its full form, and that full form is omniscience. And Aryant is one who has attained this omniscience knowledge. So he has also attained omnivision. So Aryant Bhagwan has done everything what has to be done, and they have attained this post of Aryanta. So when we go to temple, we see the pratima of Aryanta. Okay, we see the statue of Aryanta. And what does that statue indicates us? What intuition we arrive at by looking at the, uh, face of the Aryanta? What motivation we get? We get this motivation that, see, the Aryant with his whole knowledge, he knows about the whole universe. He knows about all the objects of this universe, not only in the present form, but also uh, their past existence and their future existence, all at one time, one moment. So in that particular moment, he knows everything. So this kind of quality we are also having, but Aryant has manifested it. Okay. So he has got complete knowledge. Similarly, he has got complete vision or complete perception. Then the third one, he's got complete happiness, eternal bliss. And the last one is has manifested complete or the supreme strength. Ananta Gyan, Ananta Darshan, Ananta Sukh, and Ananta Virya. Supreme strength or supreme power. So these four
तो सर
qualities,
अनंत ज्ञान का मतलब ये है कि जो चीज पढ़ी भी नहीं है उसका भी ज्ञान हो, राइट?
yeah, जो चीज,
पढ़ी भी नहीं है, आती भी नहीं है, उसका भी ज्ञान हो।
हाँ, कंप्लीट नॉलेज, नथिंग, आपके पूरे यूनिवर्स में कुछ भी ऐसा बाकी नहीं रहेगा जो आप नहीं जानते हो। आपका नॉलेज इतना हो जाएगा। नाउ वी आर हैविंग limited knowledge of, our knowledge is manifested by 5 senses and mind, and we have scriptural knowledge. अभी हमारे पास मति श्रुत ज्ञान है, and this knowledge will go on increasing and it will become complete knowledge. So out of 46, 4 are this, and the rest 42. Some of these relate to their physical form. Physical form means these are related to the body, while others are connected with their souls. Okay. So the first 10. So now we already have explained 4. So rest 42. Out of this 42, the first 10 of these are associated with their birth and relate to the physique. Okay. So the first 10 are associated. These are some special qualities, and these are associated with their birth. Then the next 10 relate to obtaining omniscience. So when you obtain this omniscience knowledge, along with that you get 10 different other qualities. You manifest 10 other qualities. So 20, now the 14. These are also due to outer merits, and 14 of these are accomplished by the gods. Okay. So 10 plus 10 plus 14 is 34. Now we are left with 8. These attributes are peculiar to the Tirthankar Aryans and not all the Aryans. So one day we had studied in Balbodh part 1, the chapter on the Tirthankars and the ordinary gods. So what is the difference between the Tirthankar and a god? That was the main question there. So what the qualities that we are talking now are very particular, or to the very peculiar. These attributes are peculiar to the Tirthankar Aryans only, not all the Aryans. So those who have bounded the Tirthankar Nam Karma, and when they achieve the 13th stage of spiritual development, that Tirthankar Nam Karma comes into fruition and he becomes a Tirthankar. So basically, the spreading of the whole religion is through a Tirthankar only. So he has this special quality because in his previous birth, he thought that all the people of this universe should experience his own soul and get permanent happiness. So this kind of feeling he had developed in his previous birth, and because of that auspicious feeling, he bounded auspicious karmas, and Tirthankar Nam karma is one of those auspicious karmas. 8 auspicious objects are also external decorations. You want to see what are these 8 decorations. Where it is. These are called 8 Pratiharya. 1 minute. 1 minute.
What is the difference between Tirthankar Arihant and all the Arihants?
So for that you have to read that 2nd or 3rd chapter in Balbodh part 1. It's a full chapter. If you go through that chapter, you will understand.
Okay, so the difference between God and Tirthankar, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these Tirthankars have this special Nam Karma, Ka Uday, and God doesn't have. And so they have many common qualities, but major differences between Tirthankar and God is the 5 Kalyanaks are being celebrated for a Tirthankar, but it is not for the ordinary God. And this Samosaran and these are all associated with a Tirthankar only. Ordinary gods doesn't have this Samosaran and all other these things. So 1 minute. I wanted to I will share this about 8 Pratiharya. So these 8 Pratiharya are special qualities for a Tirthankar. This auspicious objects, you know. So there is Dudumbi, then Bhamandal, then Holy Chair, then Divine Sound, and then some other four. So all these are auspicious objects. These are all external decorations. So this 34 plus 8 is 42, and the 4 are the internal qualities. So all these put together is 46. However, the 4 attributes given above relate to the soul only and are common to all the Arihant. So all the 4 that we discussed, infinite knowledge, infinite perception, infinite bliss, and infinite power, these are common to all, but the other 42 are only pertaining to Tirthankar only. The ordinary Aryans don't have those special qualities. So now when you go to temple and pray to Arihantas, if you remember all these qualities and the kind of efforts that he has put in, that will inspire you to become just like Arihanta. Okay. So this was all about Arihanta. Moving on to Siddhas. Arunji, you only read about Siddh Parmesti?
Yes. Those who have abandoned the household and having been initiated into monkhood, destroying the 4 destructive karmas, and after some time likewise destroying the remaining 4 karmas, bereft of all worldly connections, have become completely liberated souls whose abode is at the topmost part of the world, their form being a little less than the last manly form, who have developed all great attributes of perfection, having completely destroyed all material and psychic karmas, and all that is there in the material world are the Siddhas. They have developed 8 great attributes of perfection given below: perfect faith, perfect perception, perfect knowledge, constancy of individuality, accommodativeness, suppleness, supreme strength, and undisturbedness by any obstructions. तो सर इसका मतलब the difference between Arihant and Siddh is that Arihant have a form and Siddh do not have a form. That's it.
Right, right. Aryant have a body, the Siddhas are not having a body. So the Siddhas have destroyed all the karmas, but Aryant have destroyed only 4 Ghati karmas. So 4 Aghati are left, you know.
So what are the Ghati and Aghati kar?
So those karmas that obscure the qualities of a soul are called Ghati karma, and means like, you know, it doesn't allow the complete manifestations of those qualities.
कौन से होते हैं सर ये 4 घाती कर्म?
Jnanavaran, Darshanavaran, Moniya, Antaray. So these are 4 Ghati karmas. And then there are 4 Aghati karmas. Vedaniya, Ayu, Nam, Gotra. Okay. So 8 karmas and 8 qualities of Siddha. I'll just tell you which quality has been developed because of which. Okay. So the first part is those who having abandoned the household. So again, just like Aryanta, okay. So they have left the household and having been initiated into monkhood. Same. So first 2 are common, okay. So they have completely destroyed this attachments, aversions, and delusions, and they got themselves initial into monkhood. Then they destroyed the 4 destructive karmas. So this is Ghati karma, destructive karmas. Okay. First one is Jnanavaran, knowledge obscuring karma. So when this knowledge obscuring karmas goes away, what you get is the perfect knowledge. Okay. So third one is the perfect knowledge. Now the second one is perfect faith. So perfect faith means so perfect faith is achieved because when you get rid of monia karma, faith deluding karma. Okay. Faith deluding karma, if you get rid of faith deluding karma, you achieve complete faith. So perfect faith. Now the third one is
बट ये होता कौन सा कर्म है, लाइक नॉलेज ऑब्सक्यूरिंग कर्म, परसेप्शन ऑब्सक्यूरिंग,
ज्ञानावरण फिर दर्शनावरण. ओके. फिर
होता क्या है इसके
मोनिया,
अंदर?
ये मोनिया.
होता क्या है इसके अंदर, मतलब उन्होंने ऐसा क्या किया?
So they concentrated on self. उन्होंने meditation किया और they concentrated on the self. So he was able to destroy these karmas. Okay. So even we want to destroy our karmas, then we also have to concentrate on ourselves. But before concentration, we have to know our nature. You know? So the first part is knowing the nature of your soul. So how the soul functions, what are the what is the capacity of the soul, what is the ability of the soul, and how does it perform its functions. So if you know the nature of the soul, then the delusion goes away. Now the second part is concentrating on the self. So when the delusion goes away, means मिथ्यात्व चला जाता है, दर्शन मोनिया कर्म चला जाता है, and then when you concentrate on the self, चारित्र मोनिया भी चला जाता है. So when all the monia karma is destroyed, you get is eternal. 1 minute. So this is perfect. 1 minute. Perfect faith. Yeah, perfect faith. The third one is perfect perception, and the fourth one is
ऑब्सक्यूरिंग कर्मा, ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिंग कर्मा.
no. Constancy of individuality. Constancy. Yeah. So first 4 ghati karmas goes away. You get 4 infinite qualities: infinite knowledge, infinite perception, infinite bliss, and infinite power. So these 4 Aryantas had. Now another 4, Siddh Parmestis Siddh Parmesti has destroyed another 4 karmas. So what are these? So one was Aisha karma. And while destroying Aisha karma, what does he manifested? So he manifested this accommodativeness. Okay. And then the next one was Aguru Lagutva. So he destroyed Gotra karma. So when he destroyed Gotra karma, he manifested supreme strength. He manifested this constancy of individuality. Constancy of individuality means nobody is big or nobody is small. Guru lagutva. matlab nahi, guru matlab bada, lagu matlab chota. So this is constancy of individuality. Then Nam karma. So when he destroys Nam karma, then he develops subtleness. Okay, this subtleness. Then the last one, Vedaniya karma. Okay, so because of the absence of Vedaniya karma, he develops this quality of undisturbedness. Yeah, avyabad sukh. undisturbedness. Okay. So undisturbedness, happiness. So this eight karmas and 8 qualities. When he gets rid of one karma, he gets one quality gets manifested. So this is how first he got manifested 4 uh, soul obscuring karmas, get rid of full soul obscuring karmas, and then uh, he got rid of 4 non-obscuring karmas. So all the 8 karmas has gone and he manifested 8 qualities. So he also processed the same, he went through the same process of Aryanta, and after achieving Aryant post, he destroyed the rest of the 4 non-obscuring karmas. Okay. Uh, he got, he attained Siddh Parmesti post. Okay. So likewise destroying the remaining 4 karmas, bereft of all worldly connections, and have become completely liberated souls, whose abode is at the topmost part of this world. So where do these liberated souls dwells? So they at the topmost part of this world.
That is
Siddhasila.
the Siddhashila.
Yeah, Siddhasila. So it is the topmost part of the world. Their form being a little less than the last manly form. So the last birth. So most of the uh, people get liberated either in meditative form, sitting meditative form, or the standing meditation form. Okay. So whatever, like Adinath had this height of 500 dhanush, a very huge structure, and Mahavir Bhagwan was only 7 feet, you know. So the last structure, the last body that you have attained, so when the soul gets liberated, just because there are gaps in our nose and other part, so that gaps removed. So their form being a little less than the last manly form. Okay. So the size of the soul in the liberated stage is slightly less than the actual body that he last acquired. Okay. So Adinath Bhagwan had this huge body of 500 dhanus. So his soul in the liberated stage is also of that large, and Mahavir Bhagwan was only 7 feet tall. So his soul would be that much something less than 7 feet. So last one, who have developed all their form little than the, who have developed all great attributes of perfection. So the 8 qualities. Having completely destroyed all material, that is dravya karma, and all psychic karmas, bhav karma. Okay. So Siddhas have destroyed all dravya karma, bhav karma, and no karma. All that is there in this material world. So that is no karma. Okay. So the Siddhas have destroyed all types of karmas. So they have become Siddh. They have developed 8 great attributes of perfection given below. So all these 8 we discussed just now. So this was about Siddh Parmestis. So first was Arhantis, second was Siddh Parmesti. Why Siddh Parmesti not in the first place? Because they are the liberated soul. So our purpose of getting liberated is because of the preachings given by Arhanta, Tirthankar. And so we are uh, giving respect to the Aryant in the first place, because our purpose is being solved by the Aryantas and not the Siddhas. So Siddh is in the second stage. Then we have Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhus. So 2 plus 3, 5.
Sir, one question.
Hmm.
Sir, all Siddhas are Tirthankar, right?
No.
No.
So all Aryantas are not Tirthankar. Okay. and Siddhas are beyond Tirthankars, beyond Aryantas. So they are actually liberated soul. Aryant is still not liberated. Tirthankar is still not liberated. Okay. But when they destroy the remaining 4 karmas, then they get liberated. So once they get liberated, they never come back to this universe. But Aryantas are still in this universe. They are still having in this body, and their soul is inside that body. Okay. So Aryantas are on the 14th, 13th and 14th stage, and Siddh Parmestis are
Sir, so means
on,
Arihants are living beings.
yeah, Aryantas are still in the living being stage, because they are still having the bodies.
So is it they are among us, like, somewhere, or like how is
No,
it?
no, no. So they are basically monks. Okay. So they are in the jungles. So now at present we don't have Aryantas. We do have monks, but we are not in touch of any of the monks right now, the true monks, but still they are there, and they will still remain here till the end of this 5th era, which is of 21,000 years. So only 2,600 years has gone by. So another 18,400 years, the monks will be here, the Arjikas will be here, the Sravaks will be here, and Shravikas will be here. At the end of the 5th era, everything will get destroyed, and there will be no religion, no Jainism they will be there, no Tirthankar, no monks will be there, no Arjikas will be there, no householder will be there, and no Shravika will also be there. So Aryantas are basically monks, and they are still
When we
having
go
a
to
body.
when we go to those Siddha Kshetra, like suppose if it's Shikharji or something, so we pray only to the Aryantas. We tell them that they have liberated from here and they have become Siddh Bhagwan.
Right,
How does
right.
this coincidence come?
Because as I said, no, they got liberated from that place, So all the 24 Tirthankars, they have got liberated. But still we pray that stage, Tirthankar stage, because our purpose will get solved with that. You have seen the Pratima of Siddh Parmestis? Anybody has seen?
No, they don't have they have that yantra, Siddh yantra.
No, there is a Pratima of Siddh Bhagwan, but that is uh, the the uh, the the metal Pratima.
Metal.
Siddh, the shape of a Siddh Parmesti is carved out of it. That is Siddh Pratima.
Yeah, that's.
So that you must have seen in some temple. There are Siddh Pratimas also. But we pray to Aryans only because we can connect with them, because they are having a body. And we are also having a body. So there can be a comparison between Aryanta and ourselves, because we also have a body, they also have a body. And we also believe our to be a soul, they also believe to be a soul. So there in terms of substance and attributes, we and Aryant are same. Only the modification, they have got complete knowledge, complete perception, complete power, and complete bliss. And we have not manifested that. That is only the difference. So difference is in the modification, but as far as substance is concerned and as far as attributes are concerned, we both are equal. So now moving on to Acharya, Upadhyay and Sadhus. Okay. So attributes of the Acharyas, the preceptors and the monks. So there are some common attributes among the three, and then we will study the specific attribute of each. Okay. So first we study about the common attributes of all the three, because acharyas are also monks and upadhyayas are also monks. So they are into this monk category only. So they have some common features all the three, and then they have some specific features that we will discuss after the common features are discussed.
And sir, as you said, arhants are also kind of monks, right?
Yeah, they are still in the monkhood stage. They have not got liberated. Okay. Your query satisfied, Arun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, so there is a Tirthankar Pratima in every mandir, because that's how we can connect, ourselves to them. So now the common attributes, okay? Common attributes of the acharyas, the preceptors, and the monks. Pratibhaji, you read this paragraph.
All the three are included in the category of monks. These Digambar saints are completely detached, discarding all worldly possessions, accepting the order of monks with knowledge, sentience, internally limiting their existence to their soul only, never allowing the mind to run after worldly affairs, however, sometimes indulge in doing and wishing good to others, but regard that attitude also as an obstruction in the way to liberation, and who have complete absence of strong passions in them.
So they are basically monks only, all these three, okay, they are included in the category of monks. These Digambar saints are completely detached, discarding all worldly possessions, okay, accepting the order of monks with knowledge sentience, internally limiting their existence to their soul only, okay. So they have manifested this passionlessness in them, and because of that they are into parmestis, okay. But the Aryant and the Siddh have complete passionlessness, and these Acharya, Upadhyaya and Sadhu have manifested partial passionlessness, and they have get rid of all the attachments, समस्त परिग्रह का त्याग करके. So there are 24 types of parigrah, 10 external and 14 internal. They have renunciated all the 24 kind of possessions. That is called parigrah. Discarding all worldly possessions. Okay. शुद्धोपयोग रूप मुनि धर्म अंगीकार करके, accepting the order of monks with knowledge sentience. Okay. Now अंतरंग में शुद्धोपयोग द्वारा अपने को आप रूप अनुभव करते हैं, internally limiting their existence to their soul only. This means they believe themselves to be the soul only, never allowing the mind to run after worldly affairs. Okay? So they don't indulge in any of the any activities of the mind on worldly possessions. Okay? अपने उपयोग को बहुत नहीं भ्रमाते. So now we are thinking about the scriptures. Okay, we are thinking about the studies. Then after some time we will move our active consciousness to some other activity. We can indulge in some homework, or we can indulge in some business activity, or if you are doing a job you will get into a job. So whatever, So we keep on moving our active consciousness from one object to another object, another object, another object. So this is our tendency. But a monk, what they do? They concentrate. They concentrate on one particular object, of they concentrate on their own self, So अपने उपयोग को बहुत नहीं भ्रमाते. Of course, they also indulge in auspicious and inauspicious, not inauspicious karma. They don't have inauspicious karmas, but they do have auspicious karma, and either they are into complete purity or they are into auspicious manifestation. So अपने उपयोग को बहुत नहीं प्रमाते. So when they are into this auspicious manifestation, at that time they have this feeling of writing scriptures, uh, spreading the knowledge, sharing the knowledge with others. They have this kind of tendency when they are in auspicious manifestation. But when they are into pure manifestation, they are just concentrating on the self. Okay. However, sometimes indulging in doing wishing good to others, but regard that attitude also as an obstruction in the way to liberation. Okay. So they have this, I said, auspicious manifestation sometimes, but they believe that this is not something that I want, and they are always trying to get back into their self, So when they come into auspicious manifestation, they again try to go back to the original self. And have complete absence of strong passions in them. So तीव्र कषाय का अभाव होने से they don't have impure manifestation. अशुभ उपयोग उनको होता ही नहीं है. So this kind of monks are true monks. So these are the common attributes. Now, particularly this post of Acharya and the preceptors, Acharya and Upadhyaya, okay? So they have some specific qualities. What are these qualities? So the Acharyas have 36 special qualities. The preceptors have 25 special qualities, and the monks have 28 special qualities. So now first we'll read about the Acharyas, and then preceptors, and then monks. So Malti ji, you can read about Acharyas.
Yeah. Those who become heads of the order of the saints by virtue of more of right faith, knowledge, and conduct than others, who are mainly absorbed in self-absorption conduct, but sometimes inspired by compassion. They preach the tenets of religion to those who are really inquisitive, who also initiate others to the order of the saints, who also give mild punishment to the penitent monks for dereliction of duty, are the acharyas.
So they have got some administrative qualities in them. So that's why they got selected as an acharyas. So initially they were just like a simple monk, sadhus. But from them, those who are having a special quality, administrative quality, they have to manage the whole congregation, पूरे संघ को manage करना है. And those sanghs can be as big as 56,000. So the day the Ravan died, the next day there was a congregation of 56,000 monks. Can you imagine 56,000 monks, and each meditating on their self, and one acharya. So acharya have this administrative responsibilities, and what they do. So those who become the head, they are the head of the order of the saints, or we can call it as chief of the congregation by virtue of more of right faith, knowledge, and conduct than others. So he is an expert than others who are mainly absorbed in self-absorption conduct. So primarily their main function is to get absorbed in self-absorption conduct. But sometimes, inspired by compassion, preach the tenets of religion to those who are really inquisitive. Okay. Then who also initiate others to the order of the saints. So the one who wants to know, acquire the knowledge, they preach them, and those who want to get initiated into monkhood, they initiate them into monkhood. And while being a monk, they do some mistakes also. So when they do some mistakes, they are given mild punishment, okay, to the penitent monks for dereliction of duty. So if they falter in any of their 28 qualities that they have to maintain, he also gives punishment. So basically, he is responsible for the whole congregation of monks. They are readers of, those who are really inquisitive, who are others to the order of the saints, who also give mild punishment to the penitent monks for dereliction of duty are the acharyas. So acharyas have this responsibility of managing the whole congregation of monks. Then they have this responsibility of preaching also, and they have this responsibility of initiating into monkhood also, and they have this responsibility of giving punishment also. So these are some of the extra duties of a acharya, and that's why they are called acharyas. And they also write the scriptures also. So it is not mentioned here, but that is also a part of their duties. So we have Acharya Kunkundev, we have Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev. So all these were acharyas, and still they wrote these books. Then moving on to the next category is the category of the preceptors, Upadhyay. So primary their duty is to teach other saints in the congregation. So that is their special duties, So Maltiji, you read about the preceptors.
The preceptors,
Yeah.
those who are well versed in the Jain scriptures, are engaged in reading and teaching, completely engrossed in the self, who sometimes, when their passions are of a mild nature and cannot stay in their own selves, read the scriptures themselves and give lessons to other monks on religion's truth, are the preceptors. They are readers of the 12 scriptures of the Jain thought.
So preceptors have this special responsibility. Those who are well versed in the Jain scriptures. So they have this complete knowledge, Dvat Swang. So those who are well versed in the Jain scriptures are engaged in reading and teaching. Okay, so their primary job is to teach, completely engrossed in the self. So while they are preaching also, but at the same time they are monks also. So the primary function of getting engrossed in the self is always there. Who sometimes, when their passions are of mild nature and cannot stay in their own selves. So primarily the object is to stay in their own. But when they cannot stay, when they come out of it, they do this kind of duties. Read the scriptures themselves and give lessons to other monks on religious truth are the preceptors. They are readers of the 12 scriptures of the Jain thought, Bar Ang, Dvat Sang. So they have this 25 special attributes, 11 Angas called components, and 14 Purvas, most ancient Jaina writings. Okay, so they have this 25 special attributes. Acharyas have 36 special attributes, which out of which 12 are penances, 12 tap, then 10 characteristics of religion, 10 Lakshan Dharma, then 3 hidden vows, Gupti, and 5 good conduct, Panchachar, and then 6 essential, 6 avashyaks. Okay, so these are 36. 12 plus 10 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6. Yeah, 36. This was about acharyas. And for preceptors, there were 25 special attributes, 11 angas plus 14 purvas. So angas are called components and 14 purvas are called most ancient Jaina writings. Now moving on to the monk. Monk have 28 special qualities.
One second. The preceptors, they teach lessons only to the monks, not to the people, public.
No. They are their primary responsibility is to train the monks,
Train the
to
monks.
teach them monks, and that's all. So when this acharyas and preceptors, they both want to concentrate on the self and attain omniscient knowledge, they leave this post and become an ordinary monks. Because when they become an ordinary monk, they don't have these responsibilities and they are primarily concentrating on the self. So these posts are not good. They leave this post and become an ordinary monk, and after becoming an ordinary monk, when they meditate on the self, then they achieve omniscience knowledge. So they realize now that they are going to attain omniscience knowledge. So then they get into become an ordinary sadhus. So now the monks, 5 minutes are left, so I'll just read it myself. Besides the acharyas and the preceptors, all other monks who engage themselves in the search of the soul, who externally strictly follow the 28 fundamental rules, who are bereft of all internal and external possessions. Okay, so 24 possessions. They are bereft of all internal, 10 internal and 14 external possessions and other worldly conflicts. Always deeply absorbed in contemplation and search of the soul are the monk paramistis. So the primary function of a monk is to concentrate on the self. They are deeply engrossed in the meditation and realization of their own soul. So what are these 28 special qualities? So 5 main vows called Mahavrat, 5 types of vigilance called Samiti, 5 Mahavrat, 5 victory over senses, Indriya Vijay. So 15, then 6 essential, 6 avashyak, then 7 other rituals, says Mulgun. Okay. So all these put together are 25. Thus, the 5 supreme holy beings, that is the Parmestis, are all devoid of attachments and aversions and are always engaged in the pursuit of truth. So this was all about 5 Parmestis. We all, long to attend this post, because if you don't become a monk, you will never get liberated. So those who have got liberated so far, they all become a monk, and after meditating on the self, they attain omniscience knowledge, and after attaining omniscience knowledge, after some time they destroyed the 4 non-soul obscuring karmas and they got liberated. So this will be our journey, although we are now at a householder stage, but we can attain the right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. That is quite possible while living in a home with the family, while doing business, while doing your homework of cooking. All these uh, duties can simultaneously be done, to attain this three jewels: right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. But when you want to go further up, and when you want to become a monk, you have to leave this worldly possessions. So we can all very well begin this journey, and uh, we do hope that we also get into this Parmesti's post, and then we'll get liberated. So when you say Namokar mantra next time, Namo Aryantanam, Namo Siddhanam. So you should have the images that each post has. Aryant means what? Siddh means what? Acharya means what? Upadhyay means what? And a sadhu means what? So if you have this correct understanding of the nature of each post, then you will have, more, you will develop more respect to this post, and you will also realize the importance of this post. Okay. What are the efforts they have put in, and by their efforts only they have attained this 5 posts. Okay. And that inspire us ourselves also to put in special efforts to get into this kind of post. So this is all about this chapter, and next time we will start from lesson number 3, 8 fundamentals of the householder. Then senses, then good conduct, and so on. If you have any questions, you can still ask in the next few minutes. Otherwise, we will close for today. So nobody has any questions. So I'll close. We'll have Stuti. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। 9 बार नमोकार मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जय।